Hello and welcome back once more to XP10 for the final video in my 4-part kickoff to my flight simulator series. So after this video, I will be doing a lot more flight simulator videos. This was just the kickoff to the to those other videos, like for example a season opening on a TV show. This was that kind of thing, and I thought it would be nice to do. And we're back here in Fort Lauderdale, and as promised, we have a different aircraft. So if you haven't watched the past 3 videos, which I would recommend at this time you go back and do, they're all on YouTube now. If you haven't watched those, then this is my my 4-part kickoff series. So in the first 2 videos, in the first 2 parts, I flew in the first one down to Fort Lauderdale, where we are now, and then in the second part from there to Curacao in the Caribbean, and then the third part back to Fort Lauderdale, and that was last week, and here we are today. We're back in Fort Lauderdale, ready to fly back to New York LaGuardia Airport. So today will be a time of sadness because we're done with our 4-part adventure in the South, but also a time of happiness because it is the new beginning for tons of flight simulator videos that we're going to be filming once a week. So we're back here in Fort Lauderdale, and as I promised in the last video, we have a different aircraft with us. This is supposed to replicate. So before I zoom in, we see this. Let me just give a bit of a backstory here. So this is supposed to replicate a. This is supposed to replicate the flights I took last summer. This whole series has been supposed to replicate that. Those flights I took over the summer, and so I took American Airlines in those flights over the summer, and I took for the first 3 flights, which we've already filmed. I took a 737, which we did. And then, this airport looks nice here. I wonder what airport that is. We'll have to check that out a bit later. And then anyway, for the second half, I took a trying to remember. For the last flight, I took an A321. I love the A321s. They're really nice. And so I was going to take an A321 on today's video, but don't get your hopes up, because unfortunately the XP10 doesn't yet have an A321 available for download. Not that I know of. There might be one, but I don't know of one. And not one from American Airlines either. So I had to go with the next best thing, which is an Airbus A320. But you'll see that I don't have one for American Airlines. I instead have an A320 for US Airways. Okay, before you start laughing hysterically, I know US Airways doesn't exist anymore. I know it isn't an airline anymore, but it's the closest thing. Like US Airways, American Airlines, they're practically the same thing. And an A320 and A321, they're pretty darn similar. So I'll now let you have a glimpse of the aircraft that we are using. And going across Fort Lauderdale International, here we are. This is the aircraft we're using. The engines are a bit quieter than that of the 737. I'll point out a few more differences. The wings are a bit shorter. It's generally just a bit smaller of an aircraft. This is actually a small type of A320. This is not the usual mid-range size that we're used to seeing. But it'll still get us to LaGuardia, so we're gonna use it. We're gonna use this old rust bucket for now. But I like this A320 for X-Plane 11. It also comes in the Air Canada skin, which we will be flying in just a few weeks. It's planned to fly that. So here we are in ramp E9, and I'll explain our takeoff plan. This is the runway we are using. This is 10 left. You may remember from my very first video, this is the runway that I actually overran, and I almost ended up in this lake here, but thank goodness I didn't overrun it even more. So we're going to taxi, we're going to head out in the opposite direction. We're going to head out this way, and then we're going to taxi this way, that in the direction that I'm zooming backwards now, and then we'll take off forwards from runway 28 right. And we'll take off, and that's pointing west, and then after that we'll do a little right turn, and we'll head this way, which is of course north towards LaGuardia. So I think we're done with our explaining, and we're ready to begin. Yes, you will notice, I'll turn up the volume a bit, but you will notice that the aircraft's engines are remarkably silent. Until we start them. Yeesh, I already tested that. That will be a real loud exhibition there. So let's hop on in. Alright, so here we are. It looks a bit more artificial than the 737. You can see this is our cockpit here. We have all the controls on the top, and then of course all of our back controls and our radio stuff back there. And then I think this is where like I said, this is a bit smaller, so this doesn't have the full set of jump seats in the back of the cockpit. It has that back wall there. And that's the door to the cabin. So, one other thing. This aircraft doesn't have nearly as many controls as the last one. For example, we can't use all of the ones that we see here. The highlighted controls will be the ones that we can use. Ready? Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the essentials. We can only use landing gear, throttle, flaps, our full speed brake, I believe, and our parking brake. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we can't use anything else. But anyway, you know, did our best. This is what we got for this flight, and you got to experience the 737. It was getting a bit tiring, so we switched to this aircraft. We got some nice little light reading in there for the flight. So let's begin. The only other thing I don't like about this aircraft is that the wings, however small, are also bulky, and that will prove a bit more difficult to navigate than the 737. But let's begin. Ready for a power back? Alright. As you can see, like, it's gonna take a bit of juice to get this thing out of the ramp. So excuse the loud engine roaring. That was a pretty smooth yet fast pushback. We'll let us come to a stop there, and then we'll put on the brake. Beautiful! So as you can see, we've just backed out of E9 and lined ourselves up with 28 right on the ground for the 9ER. So let's do our procedures as normal. Engines. Alright, beautiful. Those are our speed brake, and those are, of course, our flap setting. Yeah, you can see the general bulkiness of the wing. 737 had a bit more flat and smooth wing. What can we say? Also, this aircraft, I think it's the same as before the update. It doesn't have any of the interior sounds. Alright. Let's check ourselves here. Alright, I'm gonna head this way and turn on at the next runway entrance. Alright, sharp turn. Here we go. I haven't flown this aircraft in a long time, so pardon me if there are some issues, please. And yeah, because of the lack of controls, we are not able to use a seatbelt sign. So yeah, that's another problem there. But don't worry. So I'm going to just do this and then brake a bit so that we're all lined up. There we are. We're lined up with the runway. That was a extremely short taxi. Let me just pretend. I'll use my imagination. I'll pretend that there's some flight attendants in the cockpit, and I'll just, instead of giving the line, I'll just say, quick, flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. We are aligning ourselves with the runway. Please prepare for takeoff. Not bad. I'm sorry, I'm just doing a bit of aligning out my left window here because I want to make sure we're perfect. There we go. Alright. Y'all ready? Final takeoff in this 4-part series. Goodbye, Fort Lauderdale. Here we go. Somewhere in the background there, in that engine sound, I can hear the flex. That's a smooth detail on the A320. Alright, we're going to reach 200 knots. Uh-oh. This thing does not speed up fast enough. That was a short landing. Clipping that there. We are not rising. Wow. That's it. Those go off. That is it. For heaven's sake, we're crawling. Wait, out goes the map. Alright, we gotta do a quick turn this way. So we gotta map our final. Like I said, extremely bulky. Look at this screen. Look how unwilling the plane is to turn. We're like stuck in that position. They do not want us flying. I'm just watching my tailplane there because I don't want anything to happen. This is what I think is cool though about X-Plane. They won't let you, what do you call it? They won't let you put down the landing gear. You see, beneath my rudder, which is that illuminated control there, you can see that there's just a blank space under there, and then the control. So there's no landing gear there, which is actually pretty impressive. Alright, we've reached 10,000. Here we go. Do a bit of a little flyby. How about that? Beautiful. Beautiful view, just beautiful. You can see the, I think those are the Everglades beneath us. Because across from us, below there, that's the Tamiami Trail, U.S. State Highway 41. So that goes all the way down to Miami. Sorry, just blurting some Florida mumbo jumbo there. Beautiful. I'm ready for some reading. I'm gonna pick up my books there. Yeah, but like literally, we got a long ways to go. So, as usual, we're gonna skip ahead after our traditional second flyby there. Look, oh my gosh, we're barely getting past Fort Lauderdale. Look, that's it. Upper left screen there, beneath the view button. We are barely getting past it. Let's do a flyby. Oh my God, what is happening to our wing status? Come on. We gotta loop ourselves over there. Is the wing, is this refusing to... Oh my gosh, what is happening? We don't want to deal with this. We're just gonna skip ahead to the landing. And when we're back, we'll go ahead and yeah, we'll enjoy a nice little landing there. So over the Everglades, just wanted to say, we'll be back for the landing. So I'll see you there. Flying up towards the north. Alright, welcome back, and I'm just gonna once again, a bit too late, check that I'm recording, but welcome back. We're here flying over Queens, and you can see we're heading into LaGuardia, which is right here, and we're heading in on this runway from a VFR approach. We'll head up to Terminal D afterwards. I think that's where, or is it C? Oh my gosh, I'm hopeless. I keep forgetting. Anyway, yeah, so we have the wonderful view. Here's JFK here of Long Island. JFK with all the, was that a car that I just saw? I think so. I think that might have been, employee parking or something. Pretty cool. Some little trucks over there. Reminds me of how small we really are. What does that say on it? Reg X? And what does that say? Something about hovercrafts, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. Alright. Anyway, we can't look at tiny details on JFK forever. But anyway, this is our U.S. Airways little plane coming in for a landing, our little aircraft. And our tubby little aircraft will be heading in on runway 31. So there's a detailed history about this approach, but I'll give you the very brief version. So basically, anyone coming from the west will do, I believe, I hope this is right, anyone coming from the west will do they'll head around Staten Island, which is here, and then they'll head up the Hudson River around Manhattan, up here, which is a reverse of the route I think Sully took back a long, long time ago. And I think they'll take, is this the bridge here? No, that's a tunnel. So they'll cut across here, and then they'll come into LaGuardia on this side here, going this way. Anyone from the south goes up towards Long Island and in the general direction of Connecticut, and then turns around here and follows the expressway. So that's the expressway down there. We follow it up, and then we fly over it, and then we make a turn and come in on our final right here. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to have a final approach, and then we'll taxi up, and we'll figure things out from there. So let's get started. We'll start by unpausing it. That's always a good first step. And down goes the gear. So think about it. This is our final approach on our final video in the 4-part kickoff to my flight simulator series. Very, very exciting. I also hope I have not failed to mention that this is an advanced landing. So we're going to be touching down, and we're going to need to slow down without auto brake, because we don't have auto brake, and that's just lovely. We're going to pull up a bit here. The plane doesn't really listen to us when we have flaps on. Like you see, it's so difficult to get it down right here. Alright, let's just turn just in the slightest. I want to align ourselves with the runway. And let's kill our throttle. So we'll only have engine power holding us up.
500.
Oh no. Oh wait, actually, we're in the right place. We're perfectly in the right place. Look, we're going so slow. This is practically a dream.
Sync rate, sync rate, sync rate, sync rate, sync rate, sync rate.
Okay, I hear ya,
Sync rate, 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 sync rate.
Oh my gosh, why did we bounce? Oh my gosh, that is atrocious.
10.
No. Get us down. If we do an overrun, I'm gonna be very mad. I had to parking brake us. Don't even start, antagonizing me for that. Whoa! Welcome back to New York with a jolt. My gosh. Well, hey, listen, I got you down there in one piece. That's what you can say. We're gonna come down to a stop and we'll do a replay. Here we go. That was bad. I mean, I was not expecting that. Well, to give me credit, I haven't flown the A320 in, forever. I have not flown in forever, literally. Alright, here we go. Now we get ready to touch down. And that's our first. Oh my gosh, atrocious. I can't even believe it. Our second. And our third. But hey, no, it's actually quite smooth from a passenger's perspective. It's just from the cockpit, things are very rocky. And we don't notice anything. But hey, we slow down. We come in very smooth, you know? We slow down, kind of thing. Oh my gosh. Well, hey, listen. First time I'm flying the A320. What can I tell ya? The Curacao landing was definitely the best. I would definitely recommend watching that video. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in LaGuardia, New York Guardia. Oh my gosh, as if by some sort of miracle, I think we're literally right where we need to be. I believe this is the American Airlines incoming terminal. Yeah, I think this is perfect. Down go the elevators. I'm gonna actually brake here and try to... Can we do... Yeesh. Passengers are like, what is going on? I just wanted to survive. We're gonna pull in here. Okay, let's check that. And brake down. Adjust that to 10. Put our radars, lock our pins. You know, I'm making this big fuss, but there's really like nothing to think about here. Let's fully deploy the parking brake. Oh. Excuse me. I said fully deploy it, please. Thank you. Alright. Hey, you know, we look enormous in this. Like, in the like gigantic gated port of like Fort Lauderdale, we look tiny, but now we look enormous. Yeesh. Because we're in a small airport. What can I say? Please don't tell me that this is the WestJet and Delta terminal, because I'm gonna get so mad. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, let's do a bit of reflecting on our journey while everyone gathers their suitcases. So I know this is a video filled with talking, not as much action as the previous ones, but hey, we're on an A320. We gotta do the best we can. I think we had a great flight. An okay landing, but it was pretty good. Better than that first one. And altogether, I think we did pretty well. I think we did well on this series. When I first came into the series in the first video, I remember I didn't know anything, and I was like, oh, how do I do this? I didn't even know how to use the auto brake in that first video. Then I learned. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So think about it. We started, and I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna say it was. We took off going this way, right? We took off going. Yeah, no, we headed around this way. Our first video, we took off in this direction. So yeah, we were literally like right here. We were literally parked right, I think it was right here that we were parked. And LaGuardia missed us while we took off from this runway and landed in Fort Lauderdale with an overrun, which taught me a lesson. You always gotta keep trying. So I kept trying, and I got it. I landed in Fort Lauderdale again, and then I did some I took a week-long break, then I came back to Flight Simulator as always, and I did another video. I went to Curacao and I landed very smoothly there in the same jet. And then the third video just last week, this was that I came back to Fort Lauderdale. I had an okay landing, but that was a nice experience. And then here we are, and I landed back. I took off going in this direction on runway 13, and I came back on runway 31. I went. It's like I never left. I went out and then in again. And I taxied right up, only 1, 2, 3 gates away from where I was before, and I got it. I'm here. I'm back at LaGuardia, and I'm here. Wow. We completed a 4-part kickoff to this, what I'm sure is going to be a wonderful series, so thank you so much for sticking with me even in the annoying times when you were like, this guy's a noob. Thank you for sticking with me even then, if you did. You're the loyal ones. Excellent. Cars sticking from the roof. Yep, perfect. You're the loyal ones. I deeply thank you for your inspiration and for everything you've done for me. I also would like to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for watching through all the good landings and bad landings and all that. And all of the good experiences and all leading up to this one video here. So thank you so much again. And I hope to see you in the next video, where I will be beginning a random flight. Just do a random flight, and then I'll go from there. So thank you again for watching. Here we are again in LaGuardia, and goodbye. Have a nice week, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.